You're listening to Strange by Nature, your guide to the strange, weird, unbelievable, and improbable wonders of the natural world.
Hello, everyone, and thanks for being here today. I'm Kirk Mona, and joining me are Rachel Gimza and Victoria Thompson. We're all naturalists who together have scoured the world for weird and wonderful wonders, just to please your mammalian brain's desire for novelty. Isn't that nice? Let's do this.
All right, Kirk. Hey, welcome to the show, everyone. I get to start us off. It's just you and me today, Kirk.
Yep.
But that's all right, because I may have chosen a story that is very Victoria-coded, I should say.
Okay, but she's not here for it.
And she's not here for it, so
But
I'm
you're
bringing
making
her
up for
spirit
her.
with us.
Yes, it's in honor of Victoria.
It's in honor.
She's with us in spirit. That sounds like
yes.
she's left us. She's just gone this week, you guys. She'll be back next week.
Yeah, she'll be back. It's fine. So let's dive in. So
All right, let's do it.
I will preface this story that this is an individual person that this has happened.
Okay.
And it was reported on in a couple different times, but it was reported on especially in a magazine in 1997. So it's been a long time. So it really hasn't happened before.
Okay.
All right.
This is a rare event. I gotcha.
It is a rare event. All right. So let's dive in. A previously healthy woman, all right, started to experience hallucinations.
Oh, no.
When I say hallucinations, I mean she was hearing voices. So she was hearing hallucinatory voices.
Auditory hallucinations.
Yes. And this was, this particular case happened in the UK. This person was relatively healthy. She was born in continental Europe in the mid-1940s. And then got married, was a housewife and mother in the 60s, which tracks because that's generally what you would do. She seemed to have overall a healthy life.
Okay, seems kind of unremarkable.
Unremarkable. Her kids were just fine too. There were no issues health-wise. All right?
Okay. And I can assume by that you're saying also no indication of any kind of mental issues or something.
Yes. She had good health. I will say early 60s, 70s especially didn't have the best mental health care.
That's fair.
In the history of things, but she hadn't experienced anything like this before.
Okay.
So in the winter of 1984, all right, she was reading, as reported by herself, to her doctors. And she heard a voice in her head. And she could tell that it was in her head and not outside, just someone talking to her. And the voice said, "Please don't be afraid. I know it must be shocking for you to hear me speaking to you like this."
Oh my God, I know this story. Go on.
But it must be shocking for you to hear me speaking to you like this. But this is the easiest way I could think of. My friend and I used to work at the Children's Hospital, Great Ormond Street, and we would like to help you. That is what the voice was saying. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Kirk knows this story, it seems.
I do, yeah.
Now, I personally, if I hear a voice of any nature, especially one that starts, "Please don't be afraid," first of all, I'm having a heart attack, okay? I'm freaking out.
And when you describe a voice in your head that you know is in your head, I hear voices in my head all the time.
Oh, yeah,
right?
I hear my own, thoughts and things, but this is different.
Yeah, and I know some people don't, but I could hear those in different voice. If you said, can you picture Sean Connery saying something to you in your head? I can like hear his accent saying, "Yes, Kirk, I love your podcast." You know, like it's
Right.
like and so when you said she knew it was in her head, there's something different about like using your imagination to hear something in your head versus like something that you just have no control over. And yeah, I've heard like earworms in my head, but like
Right.
if a voice just comes clearly and is speaking to you, like that's a different
story.
thing,
So,
right?
and the other piece with that too is the fact that like there are people who can only think in pictures and don't hear any sort of like that's where their thoughts are pictures. I've actually had this conversation in my household before. Where
As have
some
I.
people only
Of course we have.
Of course we have, right? There's been some really strong debates actually in my household about some things that some of us can do and others can't. And Kirk, I'm bringing this up later. Anyway,
we're talking people who have no internal monologue.
Right,
blows
exactly.
my mind.
Right?
I cannot understand that.
I
just as they cannot understand
actually,
me.
And a friend of the show, actually, I know some of, and I'm so sorry to do this to you, but some of the ongoing like music that just hits in her head is the Wii like homepage music. Like you're in the Wii. Like
you got to understand,
me.
Rachel. If you, I don't know how much Wii you played.
I played a lot.
Song, that music is burned deep into your brain.
Oh, I know.
And actually, even better is I believe it was the Wii Store music.
Ooh.
Yes. Is wildly,
that was what it was. Yeah.
Yeah.
But it apparently just goes through head all the time. And like, don't get me wrong, I have songs that go through my head, and I have some internal monologue. I do have the ability, it seems, to like have no thoughts in my brain, which is I'm just kind of just staring off into space. So sometimes that happens, but that's fine. But still, to have a distinct voice on the outside, we've gone off on a tangent.
Just a wee bit.
Just wild. If I hear this, I'm going to the doctor. It doesn't matter where, I'm going to the doctor. Like that's I'm booking an appointment. How soon can you see me? I hope it's yesterday. Let's go. Okay?
It should be alarming a bit, I would think, yeah.
So this woman had heard about the children's hospital, but she's not, a child at this point in time. She's in her 40s or 50s.
Okay.
40s, 50s, kind of age range. Okay. So had never visited the hospital that was cited to her by the voice. She did not know where it was, hadn't visited it. None of her kids needed to go there, so she wasn't worried. And she was just freaking out. And the voice came back and said, "To help you see that we are sincere, we would like you to check out the following." And then gave her 3 different pieces of information that at the time she didn't have in her head. Well, apparently she might have, because the hallucination did. And she checked out all of those 3 pieces of information to be checked on. And they were all true.
They were legitimate, yeah.
They were legitimate. So she obviously, and rightfully so, freaked out, went to the doctor, and the doctor was like, okay, well, okay, let's go to our psychiatrist, okay?
Yes, that would be where you would be referred to.
Yes. So went and saw a psychologist, okay? A psychiatrist, I should say, not a psychologist, and who rightfully diagnosed her with as a functional, or having a hallucinatory psychosis. All right.
Okay. Seems reasonable, right?
Yeah, and this doctor was Dr. Izunye, and they rightfully were like, okay, well, we'll talk about what's going on with those voices that are going on, but we're also going to give you some medication.
Sure.
And the voices in her head disappeared after some treatment of weeks, and she went off on her vacation a few weeks later, okay?
Okay.
And she was still taking her medication, doing everything she was supposed to do, and the voices came back.
They came back, yeah,
They
of
did.
course.
And these voices said, hey, we know you're on vacation. You need to go back to the UK immediately because there's something wrong and you need to go and get treatment for right now. And at this point in time, she was also experiencing some other like delusions happening. So she went back to her psychiatrist and came back from her trip and everything. And she was freaked out, rightfully so.
Yeah.
And the doctor, her psychiatrist, was like, okay, well, what's going on? What are they telling you, first of all? And
sort of humoring her a bit, probably. Yeah.
exactly. So the voices apparently had given her an address. And to just reassure her, her husband took her by car to the address that the voices gave to her. And it was
Interesting.
It was a department of a large London hospital. And
Wow.
it was a computerized scan. It was a CT department is what it was. Okay. That's where the voices told her to go.
Wow.
And she got there and the voices were like, okay, you need to ask to have a brain scan. Because these are the voices saying to her, she needs to have a brain scan because she has a tumor in her brain and her brain stem is inflamed. So those two things need to be taken care of. All right? So she obviously was like, well, they've been right before. They haven't steered me wrong so far.
Yeah.
So she believed them. And obviously you go into a CT department and they're like,
That's not how it works.
that's not how that works. So she went to her psychiatrist who was like, okay, there's no way I'm calming you down from thinking you might have a brain tumor and a brain stem that is inflamed.
Inflamed, yeah.
So she wrote, the doctor wrote a letter to the CT department being like, hey, I understand that this is not normal, but you need to just do this so that way we can show that her hallucinations aren't based in reality and you're good to go.
Mm-hmm. You're really helping. It's an
you're
interesting
just
argument.
helping.
In order to help the mental health of this person, they have to understand what's going on with him, and this is actually imaging
This will
nothing.
be helpful. It will
Essentially,
be
is
nothing.
going to is going to show her.
It's just
that
some of your time.
she can-
It'll
yeah.
be fine.
It's wild that they would even consider that.
Exactly. And so when the brain scan came through,
Mm-hmm.
and by the way, she's not having any other like symptoms or headaches or anything that could suggest any sort of brain tumor, nothing.
Yep.
They originally were declined because there was no clinical justification. And then
Fair enough, yeah.
eventually they negotiated with the CT department and were like, okay, fine. So in April, they do it, an initial scan. And that led to a repeat scan
Yeah.
a month later with enhancement, finding that there was, in fact, a frontal lobe mass which extended through to the right side of her brain and looked to be a meningioma, which is a type of cancer, I guess.
Gotcha. Okay.
So then a neurosurgeon got involved, found out that there were no headaches or any other like deficits about any of this, and they immediately like the neurosurgeon was like, you should have surgery on this right away. And the voices in her head agreed, was like, you should do that. And it turns out it was right. They removed a meningioma of 2.5 inches by 1.5 inches in size.
Whoa, okay.
Out of her brain. Okay?
Okay.
And it was dissected and just like completely removed, recovered, and the woman who originally had the voices, as she recovered, apparently the voices came back to her, said, "We are pleased to have helped you. Goodbye." And then never spoke again, never had any sort of hallucinatory voices or anything like that ever again. Truly, like, was just fine.
It's amazing.
Moved
story.
on with her life, never experienced anything else. That was it. Wild. That is what I have for you, Kirk. It was just a woman who got hallucinatory
I'd heard that before.
voices.
It's so strange.
It's so strange. It's not really happened any other time. No idea really what caused it in the first place.
I think what's interesting to me about it, though, is that it's this idea of the subconscious, sort of, like I've known people who are like, gone to the doctor and just being like, something's wrong. I have all these vague things and I can't put my finger on it, but like, I just know that these indicate
something about your body.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
It's like this internal knowledge. You're like, something is bigger here than just this one issue. And sometimes it's nothing, but often, humans are right. And it's like, oh yeah, no, there is something bigger going on here. It could be something as simple as high blood pressure or something, right? But there's something that is making you just be able to feel that.
I would agree.
But if you
with
have
that,
something going on in your brain, like a brain tumor,
right?
It's fascinating to think that like it could be short-circuiting things enough to essentially like take maybe a part of your subconscious that already senses something is wrong and essentially giving it a voice.
Yeah.
What
was wild?
Are you essentially almost creating a secondary consciousness within your brain that knows things about you?
Well, not just about you, but on the outside world that you have no knowledge or need about, apparently.
Well, but you do, right?
Right.
So like you do pick up so much information that's filtered out that you just don't necessarily have access to. Like you could swear like, oh, I have no memory of a certain event. And someone mentions one thing from that event and all of a sudden you go, it like click unlocks and you're like, oh, hold on, wait a minute. I remember that entire night. You were there and you were there. We did this. And you're like, wait, 2 minutes ago you said you had no memory of that, right? Like our memory is so strange. So
it's really weird.
Knowing about a hospital, knowing about a diagnosis that you saw on a TV show somewhere when you were a kid.
Well, this
like,
is the 80s.
Right. I mean, but all those things like, that you've been experienced in your entire life, like are in there in your brain in some form. And so this idea that like, your subconscious sort of can tap into that information, clearly it can, but in this case, it like was able to actually give it a voice as well.
And like pretend to be, or like be seen as doctors from a children's hospital.
Right,
that are there to help.
Your brain knows what your brain would need to hear. Which is a fascinating concept.
It's so weird.
Yeah.
But yeah, so it's a weird. It's so bizarre. So it's so fantastic. It's a great little bit. The case study was done. It's called A Difficult Case Diagnosis Made by Hallucinatory Voices. Definitely check it out. It's really interesting. This particular doctor presented it at a conference as well in 97, 12 years after all of this happened in the first place. And it's just phenomenal. Like good job. Good job also listening to your patient.
Yeah.
I'm just going to say that right there. That's huge.
That's a big deal right there.
Yeah. So we're gonna
I can
take.
tell you what insurance company they didn't have. Well, they didn't have an insurance company because it's in England and they don't do stupid things like. All right. Anyways.
Anyway, well, not only that, but also this is the 80s. Okay. Anyway, we are going to take a quick break, and then Kirk, you got something for us?
Oh, I sure do.
Oh, I'm so excited. It's going to be so good.
Hey, welcome back to the show, everyone. You know, I casually mentioned the longest living animals in the world a few episodes back when I was talking about cancer, actually. And I thought it'd be fun to look at the lifespans of different kinds of animals this week.
Okay.
So, Rachel, question for you. What
right.
do you think the longest lived land mammal is?
Ooh, okay. Longest living land mammal?
No, longest lived. So which ones have the longest lifespan? Not like which has been around the longest, but which one has like individuals recorded of the longest life?
Is it the Galapagos tortoise?
Well, that'd be a rather strange land mammal.
Oh,
Rachel,
you said mammal.
So.
Mammal. Yeah. I missed the mammal. That would be a weird land
it's
mammal.
It's a key word in the sentence, yeah.
Yup. Okay.
But we will come back to the tortoise.
Oh, we should come back to the tortoise because they're always phenomenal. Longest one.
You at home can see if you can guess what it is too.
Is it? I want to say an elephant. Is where my brain goes.
That's a good guess.
Yeah.
The answer is humans.
Oh, it is humans. I'm like,
it is humans, yeah.
My brain went, humans, it's too obvious. That I can't use that.
Yeah, no, which it's kind of wild, but the answer is humans. Now, of course, we're thinking about like the extremes here. The longest lived human ever documented was Jeanne Calment, a woman from France who lived to the age of 122 years and 164 days.
That's too long. Kirk.
Ooh, it's a long time, but that's
good for her.
For all of our listeners, that's the mark to beat. 122 years and change.
I'm like not even a third of the way there.
No. So humans, we are relatively long-lived, especially compared to some animals that live for just hours, days, weeks. But there's many animals that go far beyond our lifespan, and it can really start to boggle the mind. So I want to see who can beat humans. So we're going to look at a few of them. Each of these could possibly have an episode all about them, but here we go. Starting off, Rachel, we have to talk about the longest lived land animal, which is?
The Galapagos tortoise.
Well, maybe the answer is it's the tortoises.
It's a tortoise.
In general, yeah. There's actually a few different claimants
might be
here.
the Alabra tortoise.
Well, we'll see, because one of the claimants actually is the, Aldabra giant tortoise?
Yeah, that one.
Yeah. There's
that
one
may or
that
may
was
not
named,
be on my list.
Adwaita? I don't speak the language this tortoise was named in, so I'm sure I butchered that. But it lived at a zoological garden in India. And this tortoise was reported to be 255 years old at his time of death.
Yeah.
However, they can't actually prove he was that old, which is problematic. You know,
it is.
It's sort of like someone puts a tortoise on exhibition and they're like, well, we think they can get pretty old. This one's probably got to be 100, right? And then like 120 years later, you're like, oh, shoot, he's still alive. You know, it's like, so you we'll take it with a grain of salt, but possibly they claimed he was. Another claimant was Jonathan, who was a Seychelles giant tortoise living on the island of St. Helena. And that one, I believe, is still alive and currently reported to be 193 years old.
That's pretty good job.
That's real old.
Good job,
now,
Jonathan.
The oldest confirmed land vertebrate is indeed a tortoise. So we're talking about confirmed here. It was a radiated tortoise named Tui Malia.
All right.
Maybe Tui Malila, who reached a confirmed age of 100 88 years old.
That's too long.
Now, he died in 1966 and was known to have hatched in 1777.
That's not a real year.
Right. I
Kirk.
mean, you meet like this is in the 60s.
My great aunt
like-
was born in 1934, okay? My great aunt, my grandfather's sister.
Yeah, I know. It's like you don't expect to be able to be face to face with a creature who was alive in the 1700s.
No. I would not expect that.
And possibly
Ugh.
there are claims that some tortoises can get older. So that's just
Okay.
wild.
Yeah.
Now, if you want to live a really long time, you need to go to the ocean. So
Yes.
apparently, gravity is real tough on our bodies. So if you want to live a long time, the ocean is the place to be. I have to wonder also as well if there's like an evolutionary advantage at play here as well. Animals
maybe.
they've
had
been in
longer
the
time.
ocean, far longer than animals have been on land. So it's possible that some have just, as you said, had more time to adapt just perfectly to their environment.
I mean, I do know that the gravity is pretty rough on my body. I trip on like almost a daily basis. I literally have a skinned knee right now.
Yeah, it's gravity is tough. Now, some of these animals have been around for a long time. The oldest mammal is found in the ocean. So we're looking at mammals here again.
Okay,
and
mammals.
It's a whale species. So
It
if
is
you
a
want to go
whale.
back to mammals, the oldest mammal in the world is a whale species.
Mm-hmm.
A confirmed specimen of bowhead whale
Okay.
was found to be 211 years old.
Look at them go.
Yeah. Now, genetic analysis suggests they can likely live to be 268, which is such an oddly specific number.
That's
But
so
they
specific.
picked 268. Scientists, this is so fun. The scientists actually didn't know that bowhead whales had a really long lifespan until 2007, which feels very recent.
That's so fun. It does
And-
feel recent. It wasn't, Kirk.
But Rachel, wait till you find out how they found this out.
Oh,
Okay.
I'm excited. Okay, how did they find this out? Because
So-
that was 2007. That was almost 20 years ago.
An individual whale was caught off the coast of Alaska.
Okay.
And when they examined it, they found part of an explosive lance stuck
What?
in its head.
An explosive lance?
Yes. Now, why would a whale have an explosive lance in its head?
Whaling.
Whaling, correct.
Right.
And when they looked at this particular lance,
Right.
they could tell who had made it.
Well, of
And they
course.
know that this
well,
lance-
Okay, I have several questions.
It basically had broken off in
Right.
this whale's
It,
head,
it
right?
had broken off in the whale's head. The whale survived. It
Yeah.
didn't try to get the lance out at all. And
Well, it couldn't.
It's
Doesn't have hands.
You're right. Silly me, I forgot. They don't have hands. Whales
Yeah.
don't have hands. Breaking
Well,
news.
Rachel, get this though. This particular model of lance was only manufactured between the years 1879 and 1855.
That is
So
very
they knew
specific.
they knew that this whale was at a minimum 115 years old. And that's when they went, whoa, wait a minute.
That's
bowhead
longer than we
whales-
thought.
Yeah. And so that's what kicked off more research into the age of the species, which gave us all these new numbers just in the last 20 years is when we figured this out. So
Okay.
that alone is very cool.
I love science.
So do I. That's why we're here. So if we want to get into older animals in the sea, just like on land, we need to get away from mammals. So not too surprising. We are going to stick with vertebrates, though. The exact age is still a bit unclear. We think the longest lived vertebrates are Greenland sharks. And
Which we've talked about.
we have talked about here on the show. I mentioned them just, again, a couple weeks ago on that cancer episode. But estimates are that they can live somewhere between like 272 and maybe up to 512 years.
Yeah.
Either number is impressive. But it's important to note that even if only that lower number is correct, they are still the longest lived vertebrates So it's wild that number alone sets the record, but it might be,
Longer.
double that, right?
It's fine.
Yeah. I can't really imagine what it would be like to be 512 years old.
I can't either. Like, I can barely handle my current age, but the fact that like some beings, like I think about how long trees have been around.
This is an animal. This is an animal with a complex consciousness and a social life. Like, just
swim by your buddy Billy. Be like, hey, have you seen Susan? Oh no, she got caught by that whaling ship 2 years ago.
No, 200 years ago.
200
right?
years ago. Oh, that's why I haven't seen her.
For context,
wild.
512 years ago from today was the year 1514.
That's not a real year, Kirk.
Imagine if you were born in 1514 and still walking around today.
I don't even know what.
That was during the reign of King Harry VIII.
I would be
in
dead.
England. Yeah. So I don't know.
That was when
what to make of
England broke off from the Catholic Church.
Yeah, it's wild.
That's Elizabeth I, man.
It's a long time ago.
That's so long ago.
Now, if we can get away from vertebrates, we can get even older. And it turns out much, much older. Part of this is because animals get simpler when you're no longer a vertebrate. And if your body plan is simpler, there's essentially less to go wrong. So we're going to talk about black coral. Black coral can live a stupid long time. It is thought that they can reach to around 4,265 years old at the high end of the scale.
Kirk.
Yeah.
4,000?
265. Are you okay?
No.
You going to make it?
Well,
no. This will hurt your brain more than to put that one in perspective, Rachel.
How can you do? No.
That's a pretty good estimate.
Oh.
That's a pretty good estimate for how many years ago humans invented the first systems of written language.
I want to say some words that I cannot say on this podcast.
All right, great. You could say
that's
them.
What that makes me feel like. That is an insane. I'm sorry. Can you? No, I can't. No, we can't imagine. Look at this handy. Well, you're a coral, and maybe just say you have thought. Oh, they have some weird new writing system, and then you see the invention of computers.
Yeah,
and podcasts.
Here's what I don't like about this little fact is that, to be fair, that's the age of the coral colony.
Right.
Right.
This is like Pando all over again.
Yeah, I'm not totally comfortable with it. I mean, in a lot of biology, a colony, especially of coral, is often considered one organism still, one single organism with many parts. It doesn't feel good to me to have the record be a colonial animal.
Right, because it's like
I don't
reset.
Like that.
They're clones, but they're also like sort of reset. It's that whole like thought about Theseus's ship, right?
Exactly.
You replace all the boards and the and the masts and things. Is it really the same boat?
And that is exactly the analogy my wife brought up when we discussed this over dinner tonight. So it's
phenomenal.
So yeah, you know what? I don't love that this is would be the highest one.
Right.
Because they could just actually keep on going kind of forever like that. They actually they kind of hit that limit because they get so big they collapse under their own weight.
Oh.
And then are no longer one thing anymore. Like,
right.
You know what? I don't like a lot of things about that one. So good news is it's not the record.
Of course it's
We got
not.
Something older.
Why would it be the record?
So I'm not going to sweat it too much. Here we go. If we want something that is more of an individual, don't worry. We have something older. I mentioned glass sponges in that cancer episode as well.
You did.
Yes. And it is thought that individual sponges can persist for 10 to 15,000 years.
I'm leaving, Kirk. There's no reason for me to be here. 10 to 15,000 years?
Yeah.
Human, as we are currently, we were barely around. That was an eye blink. We are an eye blink.
Well, there were barely people around where we live here, but people are a lot older than that.
Well, yeah, but still,
Orders
I don't
of
care.
magnitude older.
We are a blink.
We are into prehistory, for sure. We were in during the Ice Age. So that's wild.
Lake Superior has not appeared in this glass sponge's lifetime.
Or
is older than Lake
did
Superior.
Appear. It did appear during its lifetime. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Well, yeah.
That is wild. That is wild. But you know what? So are sponges. We've touched on them a few times on the show. Like they don't have any internal organs. They don't have any true body tissues. Like any part of them.
No, they're weird.
Can be broken off or cut off and then grow into a completely new sponge. Like that. Like, so they're one of the strangest animals on this entire list. And, one of us can like,
it's on my docket.
Yeah. I think once one of us can fully wrap our heads around like how to even
10,
encapsulate
15,
how strange they are, that's when we'll like do an episode on the podcast. But like sometimes there's a topic where you're like, this is just so, I want to do such a good job explaining it that I'm not ready to explain it, because how to fully make people appreciate it in like a 10-minute segment is just, it's too much, So we will come back to sponges and glass sponges.
Yeah.
So that's kind of that's it. We've reached the oldest
there's
or
no,
longest
nothing
living
older?
animal.
Okay.
Well,
no.
to be clear, there are things that live even longer on Earth than glass sponges. But to get to even greater ages, we have to leave the kingdom of Animalia. So like the longest living animal of any kind is the glass sponge. But while diving into this longevity topic, I came across organisms that can live far, far longer. And we start getting into things like suspended animation and all kinds of like regeneration and all these other weird topics. So if
you didn't
if
even mention the potentially immortal jellyfish.
Exactly. So I do want to go down this rabbit hole, continue down past the animal kingdom and look at just living organisms in general. But that particular rabbit hole is going to have to wait for another day.
Good. I have a headache from just thinking about something being alive for the formation of Lake Superior.
Yeah, that's and not just like a bacteria or something. An
animal.
An animal. And something that is classified as an animal.
Were probably alive before Lake Superior was formed and are now still alive. And thriving.
It's a brain breaker. It's a brain breaker for sure. I do have to say the information I got, came from, I pulled a lot of great, numbers and stuff from numerous encyclopedia entries on Wikipedia. Also got information from the Australian Commonwealth Scientific and Industrial Research Organization and the Associated Press.
Thank you, Kirk. That was awesome.
You are welcome. Thank you to our listeners.
My head hurts. Thanks.
Well, you go lay down, and I
think we all need to lay down.
And just contemplate your own mortality, I guess. And we'll say goodbye.
See y'all next week. Bye.
Thanks everyone for listening to today's show. Be sure to subscribe. New episodes drop every Wednesday, and we love sharing this strange world with all our listeners. If you would be so kind as to leave us a 5-star rating and review wherever you get your podcasts, that would be great. It lets other lovers of the strange discover the show. You can reach us by searching for Strange by Nature Podcast on Instagram, Facebook, and Blue Sky. You can send us an email as well. Our address is contact@strangebynaturepodcast.com. If you want more information about the show, you can check out our website, strangebynaturepodcast.com, and you can support the show and get ad-free episodes at patreon.com/strangebynature. Until next week, get outside, stay curious, and embrace the strange.